is Olly. I'm Italian, but I was born abroad, and I'm coming from pretty mixed family. This is the first time that I will be actually talking about myself, not about my work, because everybody knows me as a DJ and a fitness model, but today I'm just like more personal reason. So let's start from the start. As I said, I'm coming from mixed family, and my father, as long as he understood that I will not be a boy, and he was more concerned about the male than about the female. He just turned the back on me and my mom, and he just left. And so with him, all his family. And from my mother's side, we had a problem, let's say, because my grandmother was an alcoholic. So she ended up to throw us out at my age of 4 in the middle of the street. So here we are, without food, without shelter. She was 22 at that part, I was 4, and we didn't knew what to do. So we ended up to live for some months in the middle of the street and more or less on her work. That was hard. I remember that we were starving, and it was pretty hard to understand as a normal child why we cannot afford normal food or shelter. But eventually things got just better, and at my age 8, my mom had my stepfather, and they married, a beautiful love story. And at the end of the story, one beautiful day, at my age of 9, they took me, they put me in the big bus, and we went abroad. I didn't know anything. They didn't say anything to me. They just load me in the truck and hello. Next thing I know, I'm in the country which I didn't know the language, I didn't know the people. That was pretty hard because I never actually socialized with anyone before, and the next week after our arrival, I was thrown in the school with thousands of people. So then I realized that I'm in the place of which I don't know anything. There are a lot of kids around me, and I don't know what to do. And I was very stressed about it. And yes, I tried to start my life, let's say at the age of 9 in another country. And the problem was that we were in the small city. We ended up to buy a house in a pretty small city, which people didn't understood that there are other people with their life, with their expectations, maybe other skin color. And the first week of my school was pretty harsh because kids tried to actually lapidate me, calling me words, saying that I have to go back to my country, and I'm like standing there and didn't understood what they are talking about. So for me, they were just a bunch of kids throwing rocks on me, saying, okay, you have to go back to your home, and I'm like, my home is there. So for me, it was shocking. So imagine that for the next 12 years, day by day, someone just pointing the finger on you, saying that you're too black, you're different, you have to go back to your country, to your city, we don't want you. I remember one time my father fell on the stairs and broke his ribs, and medical guards didn't even came because they asked about the name, and since my father's name was Renato Scarpi, they understood that he's a foreigner, so they are like, okay, it's okay, he can die. I, I understood in that point that we should go, but my mom said that we off the house, we spend all the money in this house, and we have to stay, and we are in trap. So for 12 next years, we were trapped with people who hated us just because we were foreigners. At the end of the story, with bullying, with all of this negativity that I had in front of me, and no support from anyone. Obviously, I don't have to say that I didn't have friends, I didn't have social life. There is no way that you could actually go outside and maybe ask for water for your neighbor, because they would actually say to you, I would rather see you die. That happened once. Okay. We got robbed several times, but obviously no one saw nothing, so it's okay. You're an Italian, you're rich, why we should help you, right? You have money. Moving on to my 20s, when I had totally enough, I had to break through. I have to change, so I said, I ended up my studies. I saved some money, luckily, and I said, I'm go back to my country. I'm gonna go back to Italy. I want to live with my people. And I took all of my free big luggages and I just went to Italy. Little that I knew, Italian people are racist too. Yes, because I realized that when they asked me who was my mother, and my mother is not Italian. So they started to say, okay, so you're from that country. I'm like, no, I'm Italian. And I wanted to be accepted. And for the next 10 years, I spent all my days, day after day, saying that, please accept me. Please don't judge me just because of provenience of my mother. We don't choose where we are born. We don't choose our country. We choose who we are, who we can be, our goals, but not our skin color. Why do you judge me? Before even, I don't know, find out what is my name, you're assuming my provenience. This is racist. And they said, yeah, but still, what's the problem? Your mother is not from here. Go back to your country once again. So in my own country, with my own people, I was a foreigner. So I tried to fit in for years, and I ended up to date and live with my future husband, as I thought. And one beautiful day, he just physically assaulted me. So I ended up with my head broken, both internal ears and my nose. Police didn't do anything, and the judge said, you know, you're a beautiful girl. Why do you stress about it? I'm like, I don't have life right now. My face is broken. What to do? And he's like, deal with it. So there is a price to pay for beauty. Okay. At that point, I think that I just reached the bottom. So I tried with all my forces just to complete my PhD and just get out. And at the end of the story, I ended up to have my tour in India as a DJ. I met a guy, and I fell for him. And we ended up to date, and we decided to live together. And he said, since I'm gonna stay here in India, you should come here if you want to stay with me. And I said, why not? So I thought at the age of 30, my life is sorted. I love someone loves me back, my life continued, and I was happy. I was finally happy, and I said, okay, I will do everything just to start all over, because I'm tired. I'm tired to be always pointed out and said, you know what, you don't fit. You're a stranger, you're an alien. I close everything, I close my house, I thank to everyone, and I take the first flight, and I land at Chhatrapati International in Mumbai, and he disappears. He didn't even come to pick me up. So at the end of the story, I realized that I'm alone once again in a country that I don't know, because all I knew is, okay, I like some dishes, and the capital of India is Delhi, and that's about it. I don't know the language, I don't have friends, I don't have family, I don't have support, I don't have job, I don't have home, I have 200 euros in my pocket, and I am alone in the country of 1.3 billion of people. It was shocking, and for the first half an hour I just sat and cried. Eventually the guy, after half a year or something, he just texted me back saying, no, you know, I had some problems at home, so, but I see that you're doing fine. I'm like, so it started with me, and I found the room, thankfully my followers happened to be, some of them happened to be in Mumbai, they helped me, thank you so much for that. And I started my life in a small place in Bandra. After 3 years, I constructed something. I realized that even if I'm a foreigner, here in India, I reconstructed something that I lost years ago, called faith in humanity, because at the end of the story, let me tell you something about this last thing. Is just a disclaimer. When I was 24, I knew my father, my biological father, which obviously left because so he looked me directly in the eyes, and he knew that I just need a father at that time because my stepfather just died 2 years back. So I'm like, I just need a family. And he looked me directly in the eyes and said, you know, you were a mistake, an error. At that point, I think that my heart just stopped. And I said, okay, neither my family wants me, neither my country wants me, neither my father at the end of the story wants me. So years pass by, I'm coming to India, and I have one of the biggest shows. There is one big festival here in India that helps once in a year, and I'm going out, and there are like 5,000 people in front of me, and I start to perform, everything is fine. I finish my performance, and then I hear this 10,000 people just screaming my name. And I went ahead and I saw that they were happy, they were smiling, and they were so careless. And I just realized in that moment that at the end of the story, if I can make people smile, be happy, just for one moment, inspire them to do anything in their life, just to move on, my life, it's not a mistake. I'm worth it. I'm worth to live. I'm worth to breathe. And my father was not right. I'm here for a huge reason. So the reason of my life is to make people smile. That's it. So last thing that I want to say to you is that life is a huge journey. Whatever you do, if you have plans, as me, I had a lot of plans, hey, I'm still here, and I'm happy because you never know what is behind the closed door. So why don't you open it for once? If you are stuck in the situation that you don't like, it's easier to quit and it's harder to stay. Go easy way. Trust me, there are a lot of things outside there. They are waiting just for you. Even if it seems too scary for a reason or another, don't stay in one place, don't hold back, because life is such a precious thing and it happens only once. There are no rehearsals, no rewinds, you have to go further, because otherwise, when you will be stuck in one situation, you will realize that at the end of the story, when you will sit down, you will say to yourself, I could have everything, but I didn't dare that much. So be brave enough to push yourself, not change maybe the country, as I did in 2 weeks, but just push yourself enough to change that little thing that you don't like in your life and start from that. And you will see that your life will be just amazingly perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much.